just wanted to do this video to just talk about Meps because I didn't have that much information when I went to Meps. So I'm going to be breaking this video into two parts. One is about the first day at Meps, and the other is about the second day of Meps. The first day of Meps basically included me taking the Picat verification test and getting checked into my hotel, and then the second day was actually the actual Meps experience. So I'm just going to do this right on top of my head, and if you guys have want more information or more details, and I can definitely make a whole other video just answering questions about Meps. Because I don't really have any notes or anything, but I'm just gonna go over on top of my head. So this video will be part 1, and then part 2 will be up after this. I just don't want this video to be too long. Okay, so first I'm gonna talk to you guys about what the Picat test is, because before I decided to join, I had no idea what the Picat was. All I knew about was the ASVAB. And so if you guys don't know, I am trying to join to the officer candidate school and all that stuff. So if you have a high enough SAT score, you can just use those scores. But because my SAT score was like 50 points below what I needed, I had to take the ASVAB. But my recruiter gave me the option to take the Picat test. And the Picat test is basically where you can take a version of the ASVAB either in the recruiting office or even at home. Basically, your recruiter emails you like a code that you can put in, and then the whole test will pop up. So if your recruiter has not told you about the Picat and you're someone that gets like test anxiety or something, definitely ask them about the Picat and see what they say about it. But basically, the Picat is like you have 48 hours to finish the test. So you can stop it and come back, but the thing is, you just can't cheat. You can't use a calculator. It's basically the ASVAB, but you're taking it either in a recruiting office or at home. And people say it's a lot simpler, and some people say it's a lot harder. But I thought it was fine. It was kind of like the ASVAB to me. I didn't have that much problems with it. But yeah, I did mine all in one sitting. It probably took me about 3-4 hours to finish it because I'm a slow test taker, and I get a little bit of test anxiety. I'm an English major, so I'm used to just writing papers and going. I don't like standardized tests. I think they're so stupid. But that's why I was really happy that my recruiter told me about the Picat test so that I could take that on my own time and stuff. And I could sit there and kind of think about the question instead of kind of just be like worried about the time crunch, because it was just better that way. Just make sure that you don't cheat, because you do have a verification test that you have to take at Meps. So going to day 1, I got there, I'm trying to think. I got there, I had to talk to my liaison, and I'm trying to join for the Marine Corps. So this is getting more into my experience. So I talked to the liaison, and I'm not used to saying like, yes sir, no ma'am. I just wasn't raised that way. I was just raised to say yes, no, I don't know. We didn't say sir or ma'am, but so he asked me a question. I think I said yeah, and I was a little nervous, so it really didn't occur to me to say, like, after I said, I was like, ooh, I should have said sir. But then after I said that, he laid me a new one. He said, I don't know who you think you're talking to, but you need to know how to correctly address people, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I'm sorry, sir. And then the whole rest of the time I started calling him sir. I felt so bad, but we make mistakes. So he gave me my paperwork, and then after that, I went to the area where I had to take my verification test. So when you're there, if you're doing the officer candidate side, you're gonna be with people that's just like regular enlisted and stuff. So I was with a whole bunch of like little 17-year-olds. They were just there to take their ASVAB. Some were there to just take their verification test. Some were there like their 4th time or 3rd time to take the ASVAB because they failed a few times. So it was like probably about 30 kids that were all waiting to take their test in a whole nother room after I went to my liaison. So we had to wait a while, get checked in. She had to get our fingerprints, our pictures, give us like a little piece of paper that kind of just told us that we're gonna go take the test and what tests are we taking and stuff like that. So we had to wait a while for all the people to come in before we went into the testing room. Again, make sure you say yes sir, no sir. Make sure that you follow the directions that they give you so you don't get yelled at. A lot of people, they just didn't follow like simple, stupid directions, and then they just got basically called stupid. So yeah. So after waiting a while, we finally went to the testing room. And the thing with the Picat is that the verification test is like 30 questions. You have 45 minutes to answer those 30 questions. If the test rolls you into, if you don't answer enough correctly, it will roll you into the full ASVAB. So just, that's why they tell you not to cheat, because they'll know if you cheated, because you'll get rolled into the full ASVAB. So not only did you have to take a verification test, but now you have to take the whole ASVAB just because you cheated. So just don't cheat. And also there's a chance that if you take the Picat, there's a chance that you'll get selected to take the full ASVAB. I guess it's just a way for them. I don't know why. It's like a 10% chance for you to get picked to take the full ASVAB. So I was really scared. I was like nervous, and I was like, I'm making sure to remember, because basically it's almost the same questions from the Picat on the verification test. If you just remember what you put on there, you'll be fine. Just put the same answer that you put on the Picat exam, and they'll throw a few like different ones, but if you remember how you did it on the Picat, you'll do it correctly there. So it doesn't matter. So yeah, luckily I'm so thankful I did not get rolled into the full ASVAB. I guess I did good enough. So I was like, yes, thank you, because, and also I got an 85 on the Picat, so I was not trying to take that whole ASVAB because I just hate standardized tests, and I did not want to be there all day. So after it said, good job, you finished the confirmation test, it rolled me into like a test, like, I don't know, it was like a test that asked me like computer questions. I really don't know what that was, but it was probably about like 30 questions, maybe 40 questions of just like computer stuff that I don't know. I didn't really understand it. I don't know about that, but I guess they're just trying to see if like you were good with that stuff. I obviously wasn't. I was just like, never heard of what most of some of them you'll kind of understand. It's kind of common sense, to some of them you're just like, what are you talking about? And then after that, I had to take a personality test, which is about like 165 questions. So that took a minute. I don't know what the point of that is, but it's what I was just happy that I wasn't taking that fast. I was just happily finishing that test. Then after I took the personality test, I was done. So after we finished that, they just took us back into the front room, and then we waited for our shuttle back to the hotel. So now I'm gonna talk to you guys about the hotel. My first day was pretty simple. It didn't take that long. It was just kind of tedious and taking the test, the confirmation test. But basically, this is just to tell you guys about the Picat. Don't cheat. Understand that it's a confirmation test, and understand that there's a chance for you, if you don't get enough right, or if you get selected, that you may take the ASVAB. But I think that the Picat is definitely a great option, because if you take your time and you do well on the Picat, you have a good score or whatever. And even if you don't pass the confirmation test, you can take the full ASVAB. So I felt like it was a win-win when he asked me, did I want to take the Picat or the ASVAB? If I didn't do well on the Picat and I had to take the ASVAB, whatever, I had 2 opportunities to do well. But if I just took the ASVAB, it would just been the ASVAB. So if that makes sense. I don't think that does, but I hope it does. So definitely talk to your recruiter about the Picat, because it's definitely great. So yeah. But when I got back to the hotel, we went to a certain room. I forgot what the room was called, but it's just like basically a room with TVs, card games, computers, PlayStations, and and movies. I think I said that. It was just like a chill room for all of us to just enter, to get to know each other, talk to each other, figure out what we're doing, who's joining what, just getting to know everybody. And when you walk into there's a lady or man that tells you what you're gonna do. They give you a meal card to eat a really good meal in the eating area in the hotel. They give you your room key, and you're gonna have a roommate. Usually some people get lucky and don't have a roommate. Luckily, I had a really cool girl as my roommate. She was a high schooler, she was a senior, and she was really sweet. We ate together and everything. So yeah, and But yeah, so I would definitely say when you get into that room, try to get to know people, talk to people. Like I hung out with a few guys and yeah, a few guys at the in the hot tub. Like we didn't actually go and just dipped our foot in, but we all our feet in, but we all just talked. And there was a dude that was joining the Marines. He was actually getting shipped out the next day. There was another dude that was doing the Navy. And then another guy that was doing the Navy too. It was just a really cool time to vibe and get to know people in their experience. I met some pretty cool people. I met this older guy. He was like in his 30s, and he joined, and then he decided he joined, and then he left, and now he's joining back again. So there was another older guy. He was really funny. He was like a little nerd, but you meet a lot of cool people. Although you probably never see these people again. It's a cool experience to get to meet some people. So after we went there, we got the rundown. I went to my room, put all my stuff down, and met my roommate, the cool girl. I think her name was, I forgot her name, but she's cool. If you see me, what's up? How are you doing? I hope everything went well. And then we went to eat. I could put some pictures about what we ate in the hotel and stuff, and it was really good. I had like this pasta thing. I wish I got the burger that my roommate got, but I didn't, but it was cool. After that, like I said, I went and chilled with some of the people that was there, and then showered and I went to sleep to get ready to wake up at 4 o'clock. No, we actually woke up at 3:45. We woke up at 3:45 the next day, and yes, so my next video will be talking about waking up, eating, going to Meps, and all that. That'll probably be a longer video because that was just a long, tedious day. So yeah, just stay tuned and look out for part 2.